Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys here. I'm Christian Ocampo, and today I'm joined by another voice actor here. We have good old Bill Butts here. How
My
doing, Bill?
man. How you doing, baby?
Doing great, man. Thank you for joining me this early in the morning as we record this interview. Very happy we get to finally kind of see each other technically face to face
Right.
or on Skype.
I
So I'm
tell you,
excited.
the hype build to it was beautiful. Shoot. How
Yeah,
you
it's been
doing,
like
man?
pretty good, pretty good. Been talking for like almost like a year and a half now since One Punch Man season 2 came out. So been seeing your streams. We've been chatting back and forth about wrestling, anime, all that fun stuff. So very excited to get to ask you some questions, talk about you, your career path.
Sure.
So why don't we get cracking at this?
Let's do it.
All right, man. So first of all, what is it like working in the industry today?
Oh man, it is probably one of the most fun, intense bits you could even ask for in your life. I love acting with a passion, and even in these strange times or these uncertain times or things you all said 100 times, it's in some ways it's scary but intense but fun. Like an example, literally right over there, I just walk over there and I go to work now, which is both exciting and depressing. We make it work, baby. Shoot.
Well, I'm happy you're able to still bring out the good work even in these uncertain times, or as I like to say, these these dire times. So
Yeah.
yeah, just keep cranking out those good work, man. I like to see what else comes out from here on out. Uh, 2021 is still young, so we'll see what happens both in real life and in the voiceover world.
Is there? It's there. Oh, 2021 already off to a solid start with things I cannot wait to announce to all of y'all.
Now I can't wait knowing you. I know these going to be very special to you in some sort of way.
Oh man.
All right. So during your time in the industry, what is your favorite project you have worked on?
My favorite project? Lord have mercy. There's a lot of close calls, but one that I can talk about, okay, that I can talk about right now, I would have to say is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That one just knocked the ball out of the park for me because I didn't see it coming at all. And I've been a fan of it since it was like an attempted anime in like the late 90s, when in like 2000. And after that, I was hooked. I started reading like the manga, had to get everything bit involved because like as a dude who was all about like fitness and martial arts, and like even for me in my life, if you've ever like been to the gym, like the JoJo bromance is probably the most regular thing you see there. It's not guys who are like, yeah, I look good for girls. Like, oh, bro, you looking fucking swole. Like, yeah, man. Like that bit there, and like the intensity of that is 100% real. And gosh, even like it extends even to like one of my friendships with this dude who's his name's Leon Shiro, and he actually cosplays JoJo characters as well. So everything you see there for dudes to look like that, yeah, that's how it is. It really is. And I being a part of that universe officially made my year. Shoot.
No, it really has. So many fans of JoJo who were watching the other seasons, and about a point they got to Golden Wind, then they start, just coming all together at once on your Twitch channels or on your social medias.
Yeah.
It was unexpected. It was great to see you getting to represent a character of a black ethnicity,
Yeah.
and being part of that franchise alone, it really has that name recognition. It really has the that it factor that a show like JoJo's captivates the audiences. And I'm pretty sure it was another fun day for Kira Buckland, who is part of the show and who loves the show, coming to you to congratulate you.
Oh my god, that was beautiful. Like, here's the honest God truth about that exactly. I thought I was one of the biggest JoJo fans on the planet until I had moved to LA, and some friends and I, we all got together to do some karaoke. He's like, love karaoke. And this is the day that she wanted to come in and join, do some songs and whatnot. She would sing like her David Bowie and things like that. So I'm getting ready to walk over, and like it's like I'm sitting here with like Xander and a few of the folks over here, and she's right here as I'm walking forward, and I see like, no. I pause, put my drink down, I was like, is that a fucking Joestar birthmark tattoo on the back of the neck? She was like, oh my god, it is! The friendship was born right there. It was like, what are you guys talking about? Down to like the most doofy off-brand characters you can talk about from the show. And I gotta admit, like when I could finally like talk about it, I was like, hey, by the way, Kira's like, no! Yes! Yes! She lost her damn mind. Oh, that's what I like about that, because that's what I like about this industry is we like seeing each other win so much. It's like, I personally, by the time this is recorded, I want her to play Jolene Joestar so bad, because that would be perfect, absolutely perfect. So it was good to actually kind of able to support each other in that there. It was good, especially looking at the character even like Chocolata, who look at Chocolata, he's a light-skinned brother. I love that. He's maniacal. Him and his relationship with Seko is kind of like his Joker, Harley Quinn kind of thing. And in my incredibly biased opinion, that is the highlight of the entire Golden Wind arc. I said it with my full chest. Oh yeah, man, it was great. Absolutely great. So that's 200% of your answer there, but go on, man.
Yeah, no, it's quite the show. It's broke the internet with those memes. Just with even like fan art crossovers. Like nothing is safe when JoJo's is thrown into the mix. So I love it. I love Kira Buckland with her passion for JoJo's. I've been her handler twice at two different conventions. I've got to see her panels about JoJo's that she enjoys doing. So I can tell this is a show that really speaks to both you and to her, just on the caliber that this amazing franchise has done for the anime community as a whole.
Oh yeah. Chocolate.
Indeed. All right, man. So going back to earlier in your career when you were slowly breaking into the industry, I want to talk about this show that helped get the ball moving for you. I want to talk about Gundam Thunderbolt Bandit Flower. What was like working on that show or that movie?
Bro, that was amazing. It's kind of it's a long answer. You got time for a long answer?
Yes, go for it.
I'm gonna give you one. Condensing this into like an hour of like my career was it was amazing, because with that was my first chance, my first audition, my first anything with anime. I was an on-camera actor. I did that for like Sprint, Hallmark, The Works, Model, did all that. And I had just moved to LA, and they were doing auditions for that. And that anime is incredibly special to me because one, I'll say this, JoJo's is definitely one of my favorite animes, but Gundam is one of the ones that solidified it, because the original has one of the greatest stories I've ever heard in anime in particular, solely because it's a war story, and it also shows the evil and the good of both sides. Granted, like, that's a whole other thing about lore. I was like, we'll tell you the Federation started. But anyway, And that anime and that character I got with Sebastian Morris was everything. Because when I just got here, I just had to read for it, and it was my first chance with the amazing student for NYAB Post. And I had actually read for a guy named like another character actually, and they said we'd like to book you. I'm like, sweet, all right, we're gonna do this. So I walked into the studio, and it's like, oh, actually, we wanted you to do this guy. I'm like, this dude's got a big old afro. This is amazing. And it only just built in like the hype for me because I'm recording this character. It's a black dude, which is pretty rare in Gundam. Which I say that with a smile on my face because Gundam is actually very good at like, oh, like Lala Soon. She is a Middle Eastern lady. There's European people, there's African folk in there. They've actually been pretty good at diversity since day one. Which I like. That's why I think Gundam's amazing. But I'm reading for this black dude for this character, and it only for me built up the hype more and more when I'm recording it. And there was this lady in the background, like the client, and she whispered something in the director's ear, and the director being Stephanie Shea, Stephanie goes like, "I want to know if you could sound a little more urban." I'm like, "You make it sound black? Like he's used from space." I'm like trying to like. Like, okay. And she goes, you know what? Don't worry about it. You're fine. You're fine. That to me spoke like league because I'm like, okay, as a black man, we all do code switch, but this guy was raised in space with everyone else. There won't be an accent or a black accent at all. He's just gonna just sound like everyone. It's just the same school. I don't know what to tell you. And the fact that like she was like, just go. You're fine. And she like stood up for me. That meant a lot to me. But then it only built up more as we got further into it. After you finish your character in anime, sometimes they have you do like a little auxiliary and side characters. Like so, you say yes, like sure. I mean, let me help you out. I mean, you've given me a job. I will give you more life to whatever you need to make this project happen, be like better and smoother. So as I'm recording this let's say additional characters, I ended up interacting with the dude I auditioned for. So I'm like, huh. But then I heard his voice. And reality hit me so hard in the most beautiful ways. This was the first dub I've ever done. The guy was voiced by one of my acting heroes, Bo Billingsley. So I was like, holy shit, it's Bo. Oh my god, I competed against Bo. I lost to Bo Billingsley, but I'm still in here. This is amazing. I get to share credit with Bo Billingsley, one of those prolific black voice actors, let alone actors out there. There's been everything from the A-Team all the way down to Star Trek to Cowboy Bebop. And my first project I've somehow gotten into is this, and it was great because it's like, at the time I'd already done like on camera and acting for about a decade, and I'm like, all right, we're trying anime. It's like, no, this is beautiful, and the cast in the show was amazing. I go on for days about that, man, but it was great. It was absolutely great, and if I get a good release and end up being like this merger of like this jazzy cowboy bebop kind of thing merged with like eighth MS team, where it's not like we're not gonna focus on the powerful psychic warriors. Like these are the soldiers who could die at just some time. Just it's like a bullet flies right in the dead, which was what makes Gundam really cool. And a couple of things: one, my dude's still alive, and two, my dude's still alive. So that right there for him, my man.
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite stories that you have told on Twitch. I thought this would be a great time to talk about here, especially with your experience with both the recording process and just having that honor being credited alongside with your hero, Bo Billingsley, which you have had, which you have had as a guest on your Twitch stream in the past. And just going back to the recording process where Stephanie helped kind of speak for you about how your character is, how in the universe he did go to the same school, he should talk the same way, not speak a different way that he should. Like you said before, there is no space hood per se.
Going space confidence, good baby. Shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I just can't get enough just hearing that. That should be on a t-shirt somewhere. Space hood.
The space hood.
Exclusive on Bill Buzz's Twitch stream. Go buy a t-shirt.
Can we do that?
I think you can.
We need to invest in space hood t-shirts. Put that on there immediately. 100% goes to charity. We'll do it.
That'd be great if that happened.
You heard it here, folks. We'll figure it out somehow.
So yeah, Gundam, great franchise, going strong for so many years. Great with their diversity. I looking forward to more of their Gundam titles from here on out. They just have so many different tales, so many spin-offs, and it's endless possibilities on where they can go, what kind of characters they will bring into the forefront.
Oh yeah.
And I hope to keep hearing you more stuff, man. Hopefully, if they got another Gundam project, we can hear you back in as another character. So
hopefully soon.
All right, man. So transitioning from Gundam, let's talk about another great title that really helped also move the ball further for you. Let's go into season 2 of One Punch Man. What was that show?
One Punch Man. That's another one that holds really dear to me because prior to getting that beautiful booked it email, I actually would literally you can find me on like Facebook or Instagram and see like photos of these. I would shave my head bald and do 100% to charity for Tsunami Relay for Japan, One Punch Man events at conventions. Where like set up tiers for from C all the way to S rank for like a workout. The S rank actually being what I say the workout is 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and the run. And we would have people like donate whatever they could. Some people like $20, some donate more, and they would come in and do this from like average Joes to literal Marines. So I've been a huge fan of that for a minute. I've been doing that. So I literally like teared up and like shouted in joy when I found out that that was actually gonna be for me. And it meant a lot because at the time they as in all of them didn't really give auditions out to black people. I would say POC only been narrowed down to the specifics of black people were not allowed to really read for anime because they thought we only spoke like we was from the space hood. So I'm like I grew up in Kansas, so this is how you said neutral Midwestern accent. You don't get more neutral Midwest than Kansas. So the funny thing is, I would read for like video games, which did great because they don't care there, and like prelay until eventually this happened. And it was this beautiful combination of how that worked out was the studio, which was Viz, had a their client and their reps were actually was actually a brother. They had heard my stuff and so like no, him, he's coming in. So I'm like, oh, okay, sweet. I walked in, I saw like dude looks like Keegan Michael Key, just sitting there, just tall, light-skinned brother, and he's like, I heard it. I knew you had to be the guy. I'm like, yes! So walked in, gave like the homie a hug, and we started reading. And I see the dude's Christian Lamont was directing it. I met him maybe like twice in my life. Really cool dude. And the character who was Bakuzan, who's supposed to be like a man with balls the size of steel. He's got more hair than muscle. He's muscle with hair on him. So I described him. And reading for him was great till he eats like 38 of these these fruits that can make you a monster. Spoilers, guys. But and when he transforms, he'll be this big burly thing, and creature voices and demon voices. It's my thing. So you was supposed to be right here. So I wanted to, sometimes you leave a little bomb for moving quick. You give the director a laugh, so like we're all here, just having a good time. So as a joke, like I grew up, of course, in Europe in like the 90s, you love wrestling. So for me, I saw this character, like you've all seen the show before, but like for the scene leading up to it, I'm like, this guy's such a shit talking man, full of his own hype. And that weird grin on his face, all I could think about was like Macho Man Randy Savage. So, by the time we did like the first take, I just mixed like Hulk with Macho Man as a joke in my head to kind of get him to laugh. And he loved it. He was like, "That's it! That's the one!" I'm like, "Yep, that is exactly what I plan to do." So instead of right here, yeah, he was right here. It was almost like that, yeah, with a little like gutturalness to it. I was like, and that is the birth of the voice of Bakuzan. You heard it here, folks. That's how it happened, right there. And that was great, especially in the fact that even announcing that you don't break NDA, period. But I was actually at a convention called Onicon in Texas for that. It's right on the little island called Galveston. I told no one. I was invited there because I MC for conventions. So it was like this Saturday night going into it. I was like, hey guys, let's watch some anime real quick. We were just drinking. It's like, all right, whatever. So we were sitting there watching it, and the episode comes on. Like, wait. Credits roll. I'm like, ha ha, bitch! I'm an anime! Oh, dude, it was freaking awesome. And that is my One Punch Man story. Thank you.
This is actually one of my other favorite stories you've told as well in your Twitch stream. Just, again, another process of the recording and One Punch Man taking a little piece of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, making so rest in peace, and applying that to your character, and it works perfectly because us being big wrestling fans, we've heard their promos, we've heard the voices, and we tell ourselves like, hey, this could definitely work for anime. They've got the energy, they've got the
wrestling is anime. I just want to tell you that Bakuzan is the cream of the crop.
You're right. And even Eric Kimmer said that too. Wrestling is anime, or anime is wrestling.
Good old Eric Kimmer. Oh man, he was actually one of the first people I met here in LA, because I didn't realize he was in. I didn't know him from Adam, but I was hanging out with my buddy Kali Bear, and he were doing this thing called like Wrestling for Wrestling. He was watching his friend John Allen compete in that. So I was like, okay, cool. John's a pretty funny guy. I met him when I was visiting LA, and lo and behold, John does this thing that's hilarious. And then I see these two men in the fight after, like come out in like these like cat suits. And like hype themselves up with like meow, 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 with like this like almost like pumped up like Ric Flair is kind of like, and I see these two guys dress up as UPS delivery men to fight them, and their gimmick was like to distract them by having like these packages, and this dude opens one up, and it's got like cat toys in it to distract them, and that dude with the cat toy was Eric Kimmerer. And I was like crying, laughing so hard. Like, I will be here as often as I possibly can because this is amazing. You guys have to follow Eric Kimber on social media. You need to. The guy's a genius. Shoot.
I love you guys. I love how passionate you guys are for wrestling and with mixing your anime with it. And you guys are just perfect men. Just do these kind of jobs. So yeah, man, I'm glad to kind of come back with this One Punch Man story. Talk about it, especially not just hearing more about diversity, POC actors getting chance to audition for animes. And that's part I did not even know about how you solidify it. So just having that representative from Viz make sure that you get approved for this role, and it does help when there's other POCs in certain positions, help each other, help those in the lower spectrum, make sure that they do get a chance and that they do get credit for the work they get booked in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. God,
So,
man. Oh, good.
yeah, no, just something we'll be just always be talking about from in your Twitch streams and a little bit throughout this interview, as I got a few more questions to go as we get further into the aspect. So to again get another transition going. Now let's talk about the recording process for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind.
JoJo's the recording process for JoJo.
Yeah, let's talk about more about it. I know you really talked about it earlier. Just hear more about more of it as we go into this question.
More about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like the recording process for that was amazing because it was right at like the start of the pandemic. So originally we'd be going into like the studios to get all that knocked out, but with COVID going everywhere, which is like the most horrible cold, so bad it could kill you, it was like, we're not going in. It's like, you're not going in. So every single voice actor you hear literally had to get equipment to, as close as possible, match what the studio had. And it was not in the studio's budget to do so. So at the time, it's like, oh, shit. I don't know if I can say it on your stream. But if you don't have like a high tier mic or booth set up, you literally would not work. So for like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, all of us had to like, all right, I was saving this for a rainy day, and it's a damn tsunami right now, so we got to get to work. So everyone was like, okay, talk to your engineer, buddy. What the hell do I need? He's like, well, all right, you're going to need X, Y, Z, and fuck me. Okay, cool. So ended up getting a booth. Like I got like a vocal booth to go. And we would like treat all of our rooms. We got like new interfaces. We got new mics and all that, which I recommend. Actually, do recommend vocal booth to go. Not sponsored at all. But the crazy thing is also going to be like the sound. Because sometimes you try to get like, all right, what if I spent like $5,000 on this booth? Cool. It's going to keep out a lot of sound, be really nice for you, but it's going to sound boxy. So for me, I went with the vocal booth to go because it's literally like the ultimate weighted blanket for it. And I'm going to just break this down and say like it would absorb the sound waves that come out of you and then disperse it. Instead of constantly redirecting them back to it, there's going to be like no echo, and it's going to sound very crisp and very clean. Like literally, it's been days since I used that guy right over there to just record your anime. Of course, in this case here, just street as much as I possibly can to make it work. So that was like the process of doing all of that, and we would have to make sure we all had like a wired connection. So, for instance, like I was recorded by the great Tony Oliver. You've recognized in things like Gurren Lagann and something else you might have heard about, like, oh, gee, I know, Power Rangers. So Tony does that, and he's be like directing, and he was probably he might be like the funnest director I think I've ever worked with, because he loves getting like he like knows it forwards and backwards, everything. So he'd be like, all right, Bill, And here's something I love to hear because I did a lot of theater and on camera beforehand. It's like, okay, so the character is like, no, Bill. Okay, so right now, you are a mad scientist. You're a surgeon. You love murder. You love murder. You get off on it. And this guy here, he's your pet. So he's like going through here, like, it's like, all right, cool, cool. Get you in the right mind space. You can really kind of get one with the character. And I remember it was like the curiosity monologue I have where the dude he has this power to one, he can separate his body parts, and two, his stand unleashes this mold that infects people and dissolves them and only grows further and further as long as you are beneath him, which kind of goes to his character. He finds himself at the top of it all, even more so than his boss in the whole series. In my opinion, yeah, I think you'd take him. So as long as he is above, whatever's below is nothing and will die. So there's like a scene where if you've seen the trailer or been on the internet, I'll say that for a minute here, you would know that my dude, as a surgeon, cuts his body parts apart, has the mold stay there, but because he can control it, it doesn't eat him, but he can make it float around. So he's like this floating body parts at all, like going around, and Tony's like, "You're doing this? Well, this hurts real bad because your body is in pieces, but you at the same time you love it." So instead of like what people would expect to be like, "Yes, I'm in control," it's like it's right here. I'm enjoying this, but at the same time, my fucking arm is over there and I can feel the pain of my nerves just being destroyed, but I am going to kill you. Like, kind of like thing with Chocolata. So he like go into that to make you feel really, really, really good in the life for the intense moments and the fun moments. Like, what is known is spoilers now. You want to mute for the next minute if you don't want to be spoiled. Here's your warning. And go. So in the manga, it's known as like one of the longest beatdowns in manga and anime, period, called the 7-page Muda. Muda means in Japanese like useless. And it's Jono Giovanna's his thing where he says every time he punches, kind of inherited that from his dad. How to describe this? He hits me because my character deserved Chocolata was a bastard, and literally after killing all of Rome, he beats this dude down for 7 pages. It's about a minute long beatdown in anime. I can happily look you all in the face and say, by miracle, you watched the preview and said like, cool, all right, ready, Bill? How's your throat doing? I'm like, doing solid, because you screamed 90% of your lines in JoJo. I had a guttural beatdown scream that was about a minute long, and I did it in one take. That is one of my bits of pride in that show. JoJo. So, there you go. The spoiler's done. Y'all should watch it in either Adult Swim or when it comes out to other episodes will thing out there.
Yeah, it's like there's not enough words to describe JoJo. It's a unique show where you have to experience for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Even Kira, when she explains about JoJo, her thing is, go watch it. I can't really justify enough why you should watch it. Just go on. You gotta see it for yourself. What makes it bizarre? What makes it JoJo's? And just everything that you might have seen on the internet. Like it's special little caveat to experience.
I'll sell it to your crowd right now. Everyone, if you're a fan of like wrestling, you're gonna watch JoJo. If you're a fan of any type of epic protagonist show, you're gonna watch JoJo. If you're a fan of any type of old school monster lore, watch JoJo, because the show changes quite literally with the times. It isn't one dude, it's a bloodline. It starts off pretty much with like this Castlevania Dracula story for like the first season. But the thing that makes it special is it's always the grandkid of the person before. So we have like 1800s. Everyone talks in a doofy British accent, right? Then it's gonna go down to like the roaring like 20s, because it's like, all right, a couple generations later, the intro changes, all the songs change, all the acting changes, all the characters change completely, and it goes with the times. Season after that, blah, going forward to another about 60 years. Guess what? The intro changes, the flow changes, the story changes adaptively. Because like if you don't like, I don't want to just like protagonist here to defeat the devil. All right, well just watch the next season. You'll be fine. Like, oh, cool. This guy's kind of doofy, trying to get away with shit and trying to be clever. Cool. Well, no, I kind of like Dragon Ball Z. All right, I'll watch the third season. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I like murder mysteries. Watch the fourth season. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just, you can literally skip around and you'll be fine and just have a good friggin' time. And that's me trying to not give too many spoilers in the show. But watch it.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill, for breaking that down. I think that was really done nicely. Just how you did it. So yeah, I think you really gave us some perfect answers to watch which season with your descriptions there. So yeah. So moving on from that one, now we can talk about one of Netflix's newest anime originals. Why don't you tell us about what was like working on Kuroko's basketball?
Kuroko's basketball. Oh, I love that. I love it because I'm an athletic guy. So seeing them finally like make like a good, well, not finally, this was actually not, show's been around for a minute, but a good sports anime getting dubbed is awesome. It is so awesome. It is refreshing because let's face it, who doesn't love basketball? Who does not love basketball? So, unless you don't love basketball, but that's your loss. So anyway, Kuroko's gives me all the laugh because like Jojo's is awesome. You have Gundam. We have all these like little isekai animes or whatnot. But there's something so refreshing about an anime that is about sports. Because going back to what we said earlier, wrestling is anime and anime is wrestling. The fact you can take that and do the same with basketball is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And keeping recording for that, gosh, like the director is that I believe Jalen Cassell, and that dude crushed it. He absolutely crushed it. So Jalen is a basketball fan. He really, really is. It's I think it's actually even the guy's like blood. That's another story there. But it was directed. So pretty much, I'm gonna go back to it here. Jalen Cassell is a black man. So give you a couple things here. Going back to what I said way earlier, up until literally about like last year, POCs, especially black people, were not even in this business because we were just gate kept. So now, not even about a year later, we see a black dude directing a basketball anime, and that is phenomenal. He did a damn good job at it. Knocked it out quick and like a simuldub like a pace for it. And at the same time, they let me record one of my characters, my main character. I do a bunch of side characters, but my main one is Papa, who is a Senegal transfer student who's 2 meters tall. They said like, all right, you do an accent for him? I'm like, yes, I can. Which to me means so much because going back to what I said way earlier in this interview, going back to like my first gig with NYAV was, all right, it's like, can you make him sound more urban? This was in the most beautiful artistic way the opposite of that. This man grew up in Senegal. You feel me? He grew up in Senegal and was a transfer student. His lifestyle, his language, his everything is written to be not like everyone else from like Japan. So I'm like, no, this guy has to have an accent. In my head, I was like, oh, and they're letting me do it. Yes. So getting out there and being able to refer him as Papa, doing all like the basketball trash talk, like it's generation America is nothing but children too. I mean, all the life in the world, especially the fact that yeah, his name is Papa, but to like make fun of him because he's calling them children. They would sit there like, oh yeah, yeah, is that right, Dad? Like he's old or something. It made it so much fun because that is the anime. It's fun. Trash talk is like this so important to like high school life and the intensity of basketball, the respect of basketball, and all going back to it, all the shit talk. Well, at the same time, like the moves and the hype for it are almost like in some way kind of narrated, almost like Dragon Ball Z kind of meets his JoJo's kind of thing. JoJo's actually made famous like over explaining things like, oh my god, he's so strong, he can shoot bullets at the speed of light. But it was more so like their inner monologue, which he kind of goes into it, makes it so freaking cool. So if you like basketball, if you like anime, or if you want to be like refreshed with something new as you're sitting at home in this pandemic, get yourself a bag of popcorn, watch yourself some Kuroko's basketball because it is nothing short of gold and progression. I love it.
Now, I'm glad you got a great experience with this anime, especially not just any ordinary black character, but one that was really with specifics behind his background. He said born in Senegal, raised in Senegal, different mannerisms, just a different way they carry themselves.
Yeah.
And then being transferred to Japan. I try to watch as much anime as I can, especially when it has black characters, because me speaking to other actors who are black or POC, whichever the appropriate language is for me saying that, I try to tell myself, okay, so they brought in a black character, okay, how is he going to sound? And I'll try to listen carefully, and I'll try to make sure, okay, let's hope it is a black person that got to play it, because if it isn't, that means it will sound a little different, not as authentic. So I'll make an example. I was watching another sports anime I watched was Run with the Wind. They also had a black character from I think it was called Trident and
Trinidad.
I believe it's Trinidad. So your counterpart in Texas is played by Jovan Jackson, and I love Jovan. He can also play around with like accents or just the diction. So I'm like, oh, okay, good. Like if Sentai has their go-to black man, which is Jovan Jackson, he will not get out of the park. And then of course, when it's Viz or Bang Zoom or whoever they bring into the room, you with your accents, you really know what any black man would sound like anywhere in the world. We know we're going to.
I do have some experience being black, yes.
you having that ear, knowing what this character would sound like in real life, helps bring that authenticity into the show and into the recruiting booth. So I'm happy to even see like just so small little details, the writing itself, not just okay, boom, there's a black character. Now it's just grab a black person and just boom, let them just go wild. No, let's get some more specific. Let's get some more details. With more details, it helps you. It helps your other fellow black actors give the director and the clients what they want, and maybe they may not know exactly what they want unless they give you those certain details to help build those building blocks in place.
Yeah.
and same thing goes to Hispanic characters too. Me being Mexican, I'm very much of a stickler. Like I will listen, I'll kind of like rewind the shows, be like, okay, let's make sure that this Latino is going to sound Latino.
Yeah.
Bring Christian Lamonte, bring in Joe Hernandez, bring in who else I'm missing out there. But those guys you've known, you come across, that they would do justice when they play their own
I mean,
representative
he's
character.
my partner, Lisa Ortiz.
Definitely Lisa Ortiz. I've heard her speak in her New York / Puerto Rican ways. I'm sure I call it an accent because the Puerto Rican accent is different than the Mexican accent.
Yeah.
I've actually spoken to Lisa in Spanish, and she even told me straight out that, "Hey, Christian, your Spanish is better than mine." Like, she has said that to me when I saw her back in 2018. And I was like, oh, okay, like, you were doing well too. I didn't think you would stop mid sentence, but I love getting to talk to actors who also know Spanish. We can get into our native tongue, just having that connection. Just when you speak a language with someone else, you're in that little realm that we both share. So I thought they're out there.
Just culture.
Yeah, we've, like you said, both you and me, we can really connect when it comes to representation and just being true to our own ethnicities, our own backgrounds. So it really means a lot to us just seeing that in these mediums as well.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I want to see more POCs in anime. That's for damn sure because it's oh, Lord, it's like Hispanic. I mean, they're there. Black, there's like me and Zeno. Yeah. So anyway, what I'm saying is like with the fact that like they have all these people and creatures in anime, I want to see one more of the actors reach the same point where it's like there's white people, there's Hispanic, there's Asian, all like the same plane. But at the same time, I want to see something else. I want the artists who are like making it to understand that there's more than just. Granted, I know it's animated in Japan, but there's more than just Japan and Europe. There's South American, there's African, there's Chinese, there's so many more cultures out there that are actually like a thing in the spectrum. So that's why I want to see them do things like make another G Gundam or make an anime based in Africa or just something. You make a Middle Eastern anime. I would love to see that. I really, really would. Because one, the style is amazing, whether it be like them or some like a Studio Trigger Middle Eastern anime on like their lore would be amazing. Get us some Middle Eastern actors out there. Do the same with Africa. Africa has so many cool stories in that. I would love to see like an anime going over like the story of like Horus and Ra or something. Just give me something like that. Studio Trigger, get on it because you can do it. And then book me as Horus. It would be amazing. I would love to see that. Love to see that, man. I can talk about that for days if you want. But keep going, man.
No, man, that's great. I like hear that. Like I said, details are very important. Be specific, and that way that helps kind of channel what everyone's looking for, giving us what we want to hear story wise, character wise. Mm-hmm. Once you really start getting into like the nitty gritty, then you start to find certain avenues and say, oh, okay, now we can build something. Now we got a foundation. Here's our starting point, and now we can get the train going from this point on.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
So, I hear like train. All I think about is like quotes from John Bentley as Barrett. Ain't no getting off this train, Cloud. That's our left. Sorry, I'm like man, John. Sorry.
Oh man, that's a whole nother can of worms I can open up in this interview.
John Bentley he's the man. You gotta hear it. John Bentley is the man.
I love that man. Oh, great interview. Just a great man to just socialize with.
Absolutely.
Much love to him. So another show that just recently came out, I believe it's like past early January, late December. Why don't you tell us what was it like working on the Irregular at Magic High School?
Irregular at Magic High School. That's one I actually really enjoyed. I'm gonna say that because like if it's like a project I didn't enjoy, then I'm not gonna do it. So there. But Irregular at Magic High School was really fun for me because going back to it, a lot of times when you're black, you can read for the black characters and no one else. But for Irregular at Magic High, I have the whitest character I've ever done in my entire life. This Benjamin Canopus. The last name declares to me, but Benjamin, he's right here. He's a strong bit of a leader for him, almost like he's the young Charlie or Charlie's Angels, which is pretty much the show. So I like that dude a lot. He's very down to earth, laid back, has a lot of power to him. Especially because, when I booked it, I looked into the manga and looked way ahead. So like, all right, who is this guy? Oh, he's badass down the road. For right now, he's here to help you as Benjamin Canopus. You don't really realize that he can open up 6 cans of whoop ass on you before you can even know it. But he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. I'm also Sullivan in that show because they're like, we're gonna see a while to see more of Ben. You want to play this villain? I'm like, sure. He's just the opposite. Ready to speak in my lower register and murder. But that's another story, which I just told. Shoot.
Yeah, just coming back with POCs getting chances. You also talk about how you also not just want POCs to just play their own characters, same black characters, but like also get the chance to play white characters or characters outside of them. So at least this was great to see this happen for you, getting that opportunity and just showing them that you can have more range, more tools in your toolbox, getting to play these other type of characters that you normally wouldn't back, a few years ago when you first started or even before you even started. So you can also see the industry a little bit changing as well with their own ways, as you mentioned. So I'm glad you got to put your feet in the of this character here.
But that subject to me hits the furthest depths of core in my career because it was very emotional for me moving out here when things were going very well for me in my hometown Kansas City for like commercials and on camera and modeling until I realized when I moved over here how gatekeepy and I'll say outright racist the industry was toward POCs and especially people in the black community because I booked a black character in Gundam, my first thing. But after that, I started realizing the pattern that other studios would hear my demo, they would hear of me, and if the character wasn't black, they wouldn't read me on it. I thought to myself, like, you need a new demo? Do I suck? This is weird. I mean, I took all these classes. All right, I'll take some classes here. I mean, we'll tweak it real quick. And, good, I got better. But at the same time, I realized I was by far not alone. I started noticing some patterns. So eventually I started meeting like Tiana Camacho and then eventually Zeno Robinson and Devin Mack. And more people started building. I started to realize that no, the system is set up to the point where if you were of darker complexion, you would not be in anime. And that wasn't just like one studio, it was all of them. And they would occasionally pick like one and be like, all right, we'll use that one. And that one's who it is. We're not racist. Yeah. So I'm like, really, y'all? Really? So that was absurdly frustrating. So eventually an anime with a black lead had a whitewash cast. It was going to be like one person who might have been POC. And the internet noticed, we noticed, and we were like, okay, we're done. What are they gonna do? Not hire us again? So we started having like we met, like 6 of us met up about this. We started talking about it. It's like, okay, we need to step up and change this right now and speak directly to them. Should we be overt about it or covert about it? Maybe a little bit of both. So we did, and we emailed, eventually led to me personally speaking to some of the studios and be like, all right, here is your reputation. And because of this show, not us, fans, and everyone has noticed, blacks and other POCs aren't in anime. And now you're seeing the actors are calling you out on it. When it is easier for them to get into prelay competing against movie stars than to get into your anime is absurd. Example being like Zeno Robinson. He booked Cyborg in Young Justice easier than getting into an anime that was a show no one's ever heard of. Me personally, I won the 48-hour film festival and competed internationally, modeled for Hallmark, did Sprint commercials, was the voice on the radio for the Kansas City Royals baseball team. My face was on the Jumbotron for every Chiefs home game, and I was struggling to get into anime with my acting background. I'm like, what the hell? So, like, trying to talk to these people how to make this happen is like it's not our skill, clearly. It's what you're doing. And we need to make it better so everyone wins in this. So we started talking about all this, and over the tough love conversations, they've been like a few studios so far have been like, we've been doing a terrible, terrible thing. And they start apologizing and working through that. They understand that like what they're doing, some people don't realize they're racist until like they realize that shit you're doing is racist and ignorant. And folk were openly admitting all of this and changing their ways in all this. And it's great to see after that, like it was like a lot of it like didn't get to read for shows like Demon Slayer or Dragon Ball or One Piece or anything that like the options were just never given to us at all because of the way we look, which is so dumb. So eventually they're like, you know what, you read for it. Because the point wasn't so much, though it is a small part of it, to have a white person try to sound black for a black character. It's to let people who happen to also be black to read for that character, keep something authentic, and also let them read for the rest of the cast as well, because you won't be surprised of what you're going to hear. And I think Funimation was the first one to really make that step. And you saw it in like Dragon Ball Super, where it's like, wow, this character's voiced by black people. And it shouldn't matter, but it does, because black people, we love Dragon Ball. We love One Piece. We love Cowboy Bebop and all that. The Cowboy did have Jet Black. That's another story. He was supposed to go Billingsley. But since that's it, they pick one. Now, the thing to bring about the trend is to make sure it isn't like a rarity. It's a regular thing. Like, people should say, like, all right. Oh, Christian, can you do it? All right, let's read for it. Oh, cool. All right, Christian, you can play Franz. You killed it. You can play that guy who looks nothing like you, but you can voice that character, bring him to life. That's the point of it. It's the true equity to equal opportunity that we've been shooting for. And so I have like 6 people now. It's like 150 of us together. I think we have an animated performance of color called APOC is what it is. And working with them, we're working with Coda, working with SAG, and it's been a lot of hard work reaching this beauty of true equality in the system, where not only comes to like pay, but it also comes to just people in general being educated to the real truth of actual progression, to reality that first black lives can matter, and then all of them will matter. So first give the black people a chance in anime, so that all the reads can actually matter. And it's the same thing I'm loving about it, because it's not only about bringing the opportunity out there, but it's also about ending the racist thoughts and prejudices within the system, which spread way further than the actual bit of the business. So, for instance, like, if I can get this casting director who's a very powerful person, influential person, right, to have that change of heart of how they've been acting and living their life, that extends to their families, their friends. He's like, hey man, I've been doing some messed up stuff in my life. And the person who they can make people who are around them who respect the hell out of them be like, oh God, what have I been doing? And it goes so far. You get one person, you get three more. So that's what I personally have been trying to do in all this. Those people who are the same mindset as me with this organization to make this world truly better after the infinite past of its own darkness. So there's some love right there. For me, to all of y'all out there. So move forward. Let's do this.
Well, to kind of build from that,
Yeah.
the discussion we had, I don't mind going more in detail with this. It's no secret of how 2020 shaped up, with the virus and stuff, but it was a very important year as a whole, for both the voiceover community and even in the entertainment industry as a whole, where a lot of companies started like coming out saying how even the video games and some of the non-anime stuff or the cartoons, Disney stuff, everyone was coming out saying how they will be better at trying to get more POC actors into the projects. And you've discussed this too in your past Twitch streams, having these kind of important discussions where 2020 kind of helped show like a mirror of reflection back at all these industries, showing like, hey, you may not be doing as much good as you thought. There's still some stuff that these studios or these other places, they weren't holding up to their own expectations. And representation, giving equal opportunity, being more diverse, and that was a really hard subject for them to come forward about, because it took them a while until actors such as yourself who have like a certain podium, who can actually speak to them, breaking it down nicely, smoothly, as professionally in the best way possible to them to understand like where the errors are at, where the mistakes are being made at, and then to kind of like show that this is worthy to work on. This is the foundation that needs to be built in order to better themselves as a whole when it comes to giving Black people, Latinos, Asians, everyone the same chances. It has really been a pinnacle point to the tracks in the right direction. And now, come to 2021, as we mentioned, these past titles we worked on would be Kuroko's basketball. Now we get Jalen on the helm being a director, when he was mostly doing script writing work and then some voiceover work, and giving him the chance to be a director, that really means a lot. And now it shows that a Black person knows what they're doing when it comes to conducting all these other actors from different backgrounds, whether they be white actors coming in, whether it be Latino actors coming in, Black actors coming in. They have the ear for it. They have the mindset for it. They know how to direct. They know how to do the same job as their counterpart would. So far, I'm seeing it moving in the right direction. You're there always talking, communicating with everyone from the higher levels to lower levels, making sure that it's at the right path, that that's not going to scare off back to its old ways. So it has definitely helped having that strong communication in the middle.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's good to have you there, man, because like I bring up your name or even like the Ohio guys, and everybody gets all hyped because like you're so good at being there just to gas everybody up. It's really like them, it's like yo man, you it's like you hop in, you show some love, man. Everyone's like streams, conventions and whatnot. I'm being thrown off so much, man. This props to you. I was talking to Justin Cooks, a buddy of mine. So yeah, they're the Ohio guys. He's like, oh, the Ohio guys? Gets him out of his chair as we're sitting there talking. He's got like this like wood burned art of his character. He's like, yeah, they gave this to me. They're so cool. It's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm talking to like John Bentley or like NYV, even Lisa, people who really like what you're doing, man. You good people, Christian. You made people alive. Damn it, I respect that about you.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It really means a lot, just knowing that I can get this kind of love and you receive this love back. I try being with you guys. I try being at the same level with what you guys think, how you guys feel whenever the industry is not in the right direction where it should be. And I try to do as much for you guys, give back for your hard work. Sometimes it feels good just saying good things to you guys, give you guys gifts whenever I can. With you've seen me give you those delicious cheeseburgers to your streams.
Yes! It was like, all right, get in the stream real quick, guys. I need a sandwich. Ding. Okay, never mind. Thanks, Christian.
It's the small things to me that make a difference, and yeah, I get overwhelmed just hearing how much love I get back whenever you guys appreciate what I do. That tells me I'm doing something right as well. There's something I'm doing that really speaks to you in a certain way. Thank you, and I'm glad that I can talk like this on real world subjects with you, and you know that this stuff is important to me as well. It's not just I'm just here for the entertainment. That's it. And you've heard me say this before. I come for the voice acting. I stay for the real world stuff. So,
my man.
Yeah, we're all human, and it's important to have that real human talks, and not just have that entertainment talk all the time. It can kind of get old. It can get in the way in the real world stuff where race, unequal opportunities, it can still be in your mindset when everyone else just wants to talk about like the good stuff, the entertainment stuff, and your mind may not be there. We want to really have that real discussion, that stuff that really matters, that the real subjects, the real meat of the matter. So, yeah, man, thank you for saying that, and I'm hoping to keep being as supportive with you guys as long as possible.
Appreciate that, brother. Shoot. We got you too.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, just transitioning from the real stuff, just want to come back a little bit more of the little fun stuff. I got a funny question. I want to talk to you.
Let's hear it.
So, if you could be any character you have played in real life, who would you be? And you can mix and match.
Who would? Oh man, if I could be a character I voiced in real life.
Yes.
Oh, sweet Lord,
tough one.
Oh man, that I can talk about right now. It would probably be Earl from ToeJam and Earl. Oh yeah, I think I would love to be able to fly around in a spaceship and just do cool adventures and stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, it might be Earl. That'd probably be the most laid back. Because if it's Jojo, that's the universe, and the villain I don't want to be. Though One Punch Man might be a close second, because being able to turn into a giant would be awesome. I wouldn't face Saitama, because I'd be like, nah, fam, he ain't getting the smoke. I'm out. Oh man, that's it. I'd say that'd do it. Dang, that got me thinking now. So, being Tom from Shenmue would be a really fun thing to do. I'd sell hot dogs all day. And pretty, actually, that'd be pretty fun, but that's too close to real life. Yeah, yep. It'd be Earl from ToeJam and Earl. That'd be it right there.
All right, man. So just to transition from the anime stuff, now I want to talk about the video game stuff, and
Sure.
those are the ones that also have main impact for your career and for what you do with diversity. Why don't you tell us about Shenmue 3? What's like working on that?
That was so fun. That was so fun. I'm actually all over Shenmue. Two characters specifically. One I got brought in for was this legacy character because when they first recorded Shenmue 1 and 2, it was literally what gave life to and led to VO being in video games as well as QTEs in video games, open world made possible because of Shenmue. Beautiful franchise. Gosh, it was like it's why you bought a Dreamcast outside of like Sonic Adventure. So Shenmue, for that I got pulled in, and those were things where they say like, "We'd love to book you." I'm like, "Cool, I'll be there." So I showed up, and that usually means that you like additional voices, which is still fun as hell. And like, cool. So I walked in, and was like, "By the way, you're doing this video game? Okay, it's a video game." It was literally that discreet. Like they didn't say like Susan, we're going for a video game. Like, okay. So you walk in, and it was so discreet. It was on a piece of paper. Just had the word right on there, Shenmue 3. I'm like, no. I open up the door, and it's Chris Bevins, the whole like is it Bill Black, the engineers, and everyone's in there. It's like, by the way, it's like we have to book you. You'll be reading and playing Tom Johnson, the hot dog salesman. I'm like, yes, because Tom, to memory, was the first black dude I ever saw in a video game. He was this Black Islander, a Jamaican man, and he just sold hot dogs and taught you like some sweet moves and gave positive vibes. Everyone's like, "Want to play a game of Lucky Hit? Oh, I'm Random Steve." And like you'd say like these things in the game, but then Tom refreshed it for me as a child because you doing like your serious thing, and it'd be like he's just sitting there like doing his little dances and whatnot, and you'd walk up to him, it's like, "Hey, I'm looking for this person." It's like I'm looking for a black car that went by. A black car? And you're like, I'm like, "Oh man, it's someone different." Not everyone's super serious or really weird. It was like, this dude is, I believe this man exists in this world, and I got to play him, was the best. So booked him, and we finished it pretty quick, and even started on another character, which I'll go into later. Because your job was this is Tom. Tom's for the culture. So I walked back in, and I'd known Chris for a minute. So I look over there and I see Corey recording one of his 10,000 lines of dialogue for Ryo Hazuki. So I see Corey, who I've never met before in my life, and he's doing his, "I see. I'm looking for because like the director wanted him to be as stoic as possible." I'm like, my God. And a couple things happened. One, that man was in a booth in full-on steampunk attire. I don't know how he does it. Two, I'll give her a Chris. I thought to myself, like, "Hey man, can I do something real quick? Trust me, it'll be really worth it. Let me do it." He's like, "Okay." So I walk over there, and I see like the door is still a little bit open. He's in the middle of like a break real quick. He's drinking some water. So I kick the door open, and we're like, "Radio!" And he goes, "No." And the studio director goes like, "Bam!" Like, "Yep, that's our Tom." He was like, "Yes!" And the bromance was born right there. Because Tom and Woody were like close friends in the original game. And there was Rio right there for me as Tom. If you look online, you'll see a dumb amount of videos of him and I together doing this stupidest thing, even reenacting scenes from the original game. Love that dude, love that game so much. It's just fun, man. You can also hear me as you don't hear me as big bro. I'm kind of a dick. I'm kind of the asshole for the second half of the game, whatever. And a bunch of fighters and stuff like that. But it's fun. It's really fun, man.
Yeah, no, this game was big when before it was coming out. People were really excited for it. They were anticipating because of that big gap from 2 to 3.
Bro, the crowdfunded just like that.
Yeah, the love was right there. It had a great cast of actors. Like, you were part of it, playing all these other characters. We had Kyle McCarthy, we had Brandon Bacher, and again, Corey was there too. Another reason why I wanted to talk about this one, it also had another great story you talked on Twitch. This one was another reason why you're able to kind of like let these studios know you have other accents that you can do.
Yeah.
And it kind of like opens some other doors for you. If you want to reiterate that from your Twitch streams, just again, more perspective on your career, on where you are at when it comes to giving these game studios more of your toolbox. So yeah.
Tom, he's got like a fun nostalgic bit part. You can call him and like kind of catch up with him in the game. So I knocked that stuff out pretty damn quick. So one thing in the studio, you always ask like, all right, well, what else you got? What else you got? Like, I'm here. Let's get to work. And the director, even like I've not known Chris, hadn't really talked too much about like this type of work. So he had actually asked me, he's like, oh, what can you do? I was like, well, accent dialect training, actually classically trained as well. You want some Shakespeare? You want me to sing? You do accent dialect training with Paul Meyer. What do you need? He's like, wait, what? I mean, you have my demo. They never listened to it. So he's like, oh, well, can you do? Let's just try this guy. And they actually gave him, his name is Cole actually, but Big Bro. They literally don't say his name the whole time. It's like Big Bro, Big Bro, Big Bro, Big Bro. So I was calling Big Bro. And they's like, all right, can you read this? I'm like, sure. Did that, and they loved it. It's like, all right, there's some fight scenes coming up. We're going to bring it back. So it led to more sessions because we actually had quite a bit to do with Big Bro. It's even like side characters out there, like fighters. Like, hey, maybe some fighters you want to do? I was like, well, I've got a few black belts. What do you need? Like, excuse me? I'm like, yeah. I mean, let's do this. And they ate it up. They really, really did. So the thing about it is going back to it. Unfortunately, we'll start here then here, guys. They didn't allow themselves to see what they had. And unfortunately, that's a kind of a thing with POCs. It's like, they can do Daquan Jackson or Hooker 3 or Crackhead 37 or Pimp 8, whatever. It's like, no. We can do so much more. And the second they realized, I got to see it live in my face, like, oh, that like, I've been horribly wrong this entire time. And because of that, got to shine for him. So if anyone's watching this, I'll tell you this right now. If you're in the booth and they bring it in to play the black character because they're ignorant, ask at the end of your session, hey, what else you got? Let me surprise you. Educate them on that there. We can argue and yell at them, and we have the right to. But let's do the first take, being like, let me lovingly show you what you've been missing out on. And for that studio, which is Mark Rao, that was the big change for me and them. was led on to more games actually were recorded there with them. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm saying that now to speak life into those watching. You know, steps are happening. Just let them know. Don't shine.
Yeah, definitely. This is another example of how you are still trying to, or you were at that point, still educating a studio like them on what you can do. That there's more than just playing these generic or these side or not these NPC characters that just have a few lines and that'd be it. That whenever a studio books a actor that's POC, that they shouldn't just be used just to play these one-off characters, but that they should utilize all their skills. They've learned this craft. They've spent years of training how to be actors, and these studios should utilize that, capitalize on what they have, what they bring to the table. That way, they can get the best performance and have the best quality actors in their product, whether if it's a game or anime, TV show, cartoon, whatever.
Yeah,
they want to make sure that they get everything out of these actors. So it's great to kind of hear you kind of get them to open their eyes on this and again surprise them that, oh, okay, there's more to it than what they thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Hopefully we get that keeps going and see how far these this little nugget information gets used for any other actor out there who's watching this interview or who knows of you, that they can learn from what you kind of like tell yourself in this industry. So
absolutely,
yeah. All right, man. So another real game that I want to talk about that has been special to you, and this one you played live on your Twitch stream, and this one really caught me off guard. What was it like working on ToeJam and Earl?
My name is ToeJam and I'm big girl. That I didn't see coming at all. At all. It was a direct message from the studio themselves, going like, "Hey, can you read for this?" And I literally thought it was like a prank or something. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. So like, look at that, I was like, oh wait, no, this is for real. I'm gonna read for it because like, Greg, the original Earl, had passed away. Seriously, like rest in power for that. But like Tones was still around, so they're gonna bring him back to play ToeJam, but they needed a new Earl because kind of getting this ball rolling. They're doing a game called Mighty Fight, which is like Power Stone on steroids, and like they're bringing in ToeJam and Earl. I'm like, cool, all right. So I'll read for it. So I've matched him to the best of my ability. And to get it, they needed to voice match, like, of course, like, this is how he sings, this is how he talks, this is his lifestyle, this is how he raps. And I'm like, cool. Blah! Send it all to him. And you're like, all right, cool. Then came the call back. I'm like, wait, what? Oh my God. What? So, went in, did the callback. And then came that email. Congratulations. I'm like, because ToeJam and Earl was like the game back in the day. Back in the day. So with that, they eventually booked me. You can actually buy it on Steam right now called Mighty Fight and hear me as Earl. You can play as ToeJam and Earl. And that gave me all the life in the world. So it's like, this would be nice. Oh my Jesus.
Yeah, big surprise. I think when you said you were Earl, we were all surprised. Like both us, your fans, even your peers were like, "No way, Bill's new Earl."
New Earl.
And then you got the director as a guest when you were playing it. So that
you brought in
that
Ori was great. It was funky.
yeah, no, that was definitely important. Just just seeing that kind of collaboration, that kind of opportunity where you just branching out your wings in different directions where you didn't even know where you would be going next. And another fun little trivia, because you are great friends with Antfish, aka
Yeah.
Anthony Sardina. He was a character in this game, so now just
I'm sorry. I love that.
Yeah, just being credited in the same project, that's awesome. Just knowing like, hey, both Bill and Antfish are both on the same video game. So that speaks volumes on how much your friendship has blossomed. Just knowing that two friends are in the same, and it could be like anything. Just it could be an anime or something, but a video game itself, it just hits the mark perfectly. Just on YouTube, just be together. Same here. He's a great cat. So yeah, happy that you got to play. I'll be playing that game myself.
Bro, get on it. It's fun. It's really fun. It's like take the bias out of it. As a guy who, it's like, where is it? Yeah. So, as a man who's been a fan of Power Stone since day one, it's just that, but like 20 times more intense, and I friggin' love it. You check it out. Check it out.
Will do, man. Will do. Anything you're in, I'll definitely check out.
Oh, sugar.
All right, man. Now let me get to this one.
Okay.
This game has really taken everything by storm. The internet, the memes, just the video game industry itself. Okay. Even Obama, whose kids love this game, decided to follow one of your fellow actors, Karina, but I can't say her last name. Boddicker. Let's talk about while we start working on Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact. That came out of like nowhere. It was like getting like an email from that particular studio, and my buddy Chris Viella been like, "Hey man, it's like we're gonna work together." Like, we're working together? Yeah, we're gonna be working together. Like, cool. Coming in, it's like, all right, so you're playing this villain over here. His name is Chang Hu. He is a dick among dicks. I'm like, yeah, okay. So when I read for him, whatnot, and like another character named Uncle Tian, and it was so fun because it was like the opposite sides of like my range from yeah, good old Chang Hu. You'll hate me if you play the game because I'm a dick. And nice Vine, Uncle Tian. It was kind of great for. I was just wondering where all the fish were biting today. That it was kind of great to come back for that one, realizing he had to deal with this dude a lot in the new DLC that just came out. So have fun with that. And it threw me off because I thought like, okay, it'll be like this free 99 game. It'll be, some people might play it. And then it made, the game made, I didn't. It'll be nice though if I did. Made like $16 million in the first 2 days. This is a free 99 game, and it made nearly $60 million in 2 days, and it's been blowing up since. I'm like, well, damn. I'm just coming here like, this will be fun, guys. Oh shit.
Yeah, no, Genshin Impact came out of nowhere, accumulated this enormous fan base. So much love has gone to all the actors that were announced. That's something funny about this game because it's a Chinese game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a Japanese game because
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm not cultured enough when I make mistakes.
You'd be amazed like on that exact subject. It's like, all right, here's this game. Oh, it's Korean. Oh, cool. Like, actually, that happened to me. I was kind of like, huh. Korea makes video games? Like, wow, Bill, you thought Korea makes video games? You know, America makes video games, Bill? Holy shit. I'm like, oh, damn. China's really making some dope ass video games. Japan. Because, like, we're like mentally trained to think to ourselves, this conversation goes full circle. It's like, Japan is where games come from, and America. No one else makes video games. Oh, no, actually they do, and they're damn good at it. So, yeah, this came out of a Chinese company, and I'll be straight up with you, they killed it. It's like Breath of the Wild, but open world. Sorry, Breath of the Wild is open world, but you know what I mean. Like, multiplayer, open, amazing world. It is multiple characters. They're still adding more on there, and it's great. It's super interactive. It's fun. I love mixing elements of my attacks to that game. You can sit there and just like zone out and play it and lose a day. It's a problem a friend of mine has, and it's good stuff. I should play it. Look for my characters.
Yeah, it's amazing. Been seeing some Twitch streams from your fellow actors who are in it. Karina loves streaming almost every day now. Jennifer Losey, same with her. Everyone just can't get enough of it. I think it is kind of weird how they don't follow the same formula as here in the States or in Japan where they announce the cast. They do it in a weird way where like they announce like a few each week or so. I was like, that's so unusual for me as a fan to kind of like see that.
We all hated that so much. Oh, it's like usually like the second the game's announced and like you see yourself clearly in the credits, you can say it. That's how like the NDA works. It's like you don't say anything until your credits are out there. When IMDb says it, or as you see your name in the credits, you say nothing. It has to be in America. It's like, okay. So it was like we read for it, we forget about it, it comes out, we talk about it. Game came out, month passes, we still can't say anything. It's like, is that you, Bill? I can neither confirm nor deny that is me. Is that you, Karina? I can neither confirm or deny that that's me. But so finally they made it like this big fancy thing. It was like, bah, it's this person. So I'm like, oh, well, that's okay. That's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, so it was quite a weird adjustment as us fans trying to accept, I guess, the Chinese way on how they choose to let actors be announced for the credit roles.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they were completely done yet. I'm not gonna.
Or not.
Yeah. I don't even know at this point. Like, I just don't know. I just know who's in it for now. Karina, she plays the mascot of the game.
Yeah.
And you as well, since you really been able to talk about that. Hey, I am in this game. And anyone else?
Oh, Cora's the face of that game. So respect.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see what else the Chinese will pump out in the next year or so.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're all surprised like how well they can create these games, especially if they can be this popular at this caliber and just get this massive fan base behind them. So I can predict that that's going to be interesting in the next few years.
Heck yeah, man.
All right, and then just to wrap things up, is there anything else coming out that you can talk about or anything you want to plug in at this point?
Well, let's see here. First of all, you can feel free to follow me on Twitch at Bill_Butts. Just my name, Bill Butts. You can also find me on Twitter at BillDozer777 and Instagram at BillDozer77. I know. And when it comes to things I can talk about, I will say hints were dropped throughout this stream, and there'll be a fun announcement coming up very soon. And then that's all I can say for now.
All right, Bill. Well, since you really plugged in your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what about your Twitch? Any you want to plug in that as well for fans to jump there?
Yeah, find me at Twitch, Bill_Butts. I stream always Tuesdays, Thursdays for gaming. Sometimes try sneaking more about that, but you'll see me on there. And Sundays we actually do the science of gaming and anime. We actually try to make sense of things out there. I actually brought in a little astronomy professor who also teaches. This guy teaches astronomy and also game design. So when it comes to like your questions, like I don't know, like how does the bebop actually fly? He will literally sit there and answer your question. Yeah, it's meeting him's a whole other story. I will do with like another interview. I've known him for about 15 years. Really, really cool dude. Taught me astronomy. But yeah. So check it out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and find me at Bill_Butts. Hang out, have a good time. Join the cookout, babe.
Right, Bill. Well, thank you for this lengthy time of yours you've given me for this interview. I'm glad we finally were able to do this after like a year and a half of trying to work out a time frame to make this happen. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate just hearing about all your work, your experiences. I feel educated as well, just hearing your stories.
Thanks for having me, King. You all right.
All right. Well, thank you, Bill. And thank you to our viewers for tuning in for this episode of the Ohio Guys here. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Take care.